What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Lazy Sunday live stream here on Out of the Basement. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
Sup, guys?
He didn't get wrong turned.
I didn't.
Welcome back, Justin. I hope you had a lovely little vacation over this past week.
Thank you. I did.
Nice. Very nice. But we are
Very
here
fun.
today. We're going to be talking about some new Black Series news. We also have a factory leak.
An exclusive out of the basement leak.
Exclusive.
Highly exclusive.
So exclusive, you won't even believe it. But we will be looking at that. We'll also, of course, be discussing the Acolyte. Right, Justin?
Sure.
Or did you watched, right? You watched.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if with your trip, so...
Yeah,
right.
we watched.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us so far. We've got 195 people in here
that's like
already.
insane.
Don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about the Black Series here on the channel. And I want to give a shout out to the Gamer Zone, who's been a member for 35 months. It is my birthday. No better way to spend it than talking figgies. Happy birthday, Gamer Zone.
Happy birthday.
Thank you for being a channel member. That is easily the best way to support the channel. If you're interested in something like that, there will be a link in the chat to join up. We got 2 different tiers. One gets
Highly appreciate everyone.
You might win a free figgy every month. One of those tiers. But let's say what's up to some other people who've joined us as well. Got to give a shout out to Dan, Darth Educator here.
Dan.
Nate and Justin, how's it going? It's going. It's a good day. It is a good day.
Oh, yeah.
We got Tom the Perceptor in here as well. Sean Woods is back. Church is on. Good evening to Wayne. Yeah, we just do the Halo.
That's our church.
Yeah, I agree. Nice to see you. Soup Dragon, welcome to the stream. We also got Pat Dyer here. Sup, guys? Ready for another Lazy Sunday live stream. We also got Mr. Coffee in here. Lovely moderator and guest who's been on the channel quite a few times. Co-host of Monday Night Figure Ball, right, Justin?
Pretty much at that point.
Yeah. What's up, Zoo Boy? And Hooter Mikulski's here as well. We got Shadow Dragon, Ace Barbecue Gaming, and Wilbon is here, who is a moderator on our Discord, but not a moderator on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Is that another one that I forgot? Here.
I think it's been a meme in the chat for the past couple lives, and I don't know if you've seen it or not.
There we go. There we go.
Ooh. We got Lance Peter Luke in here. It's out of the wokeness. That's right. Justin went full woke last stream.
Gah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. It's nice to see there's Mr. Coffee.
I fixed it.
I got him, boys. I got him live on stream.
Yeah.
Unlimited. Well, not unlimited, but pretty unlimited.
First things first.
Also, what's up, Fig? Gotta say what's up to Fig.
Follow us on Instagram, Nate.
Whoa!
First things first. Follow us on Instagram because we're almost at 3,000 followers here.
Hey. That's pretty cool.
I did go to North Carolina these past few days. Went on the old Grandfather Mountain.
Ooh.
I had to sneak the Scouty up there. I had to sneak the Scout.
On a mission.
Yep, but it is really high up, and I'm not going to say I'm afraid of heights, but I get a little uneasy, and it takes some getting used to, especially all these adventurous Lucy ideas and trails and stuff like that. But yeah, we also passed a Forrest Gump filming location, which I thought was pretty neat.
Wow. Did you intentionally go past that, or was it just something you guys stumbled upon?
We knew it was there before going in, but it was just part of the the route. It wasn't necessarily like going out of our way.
I
But
see.
yeah, that was very fun.
Nice.
So I had a fun little blast. Follow us Out of the Basement YT on Instagram. And you also see little Kiwi's birthday. She's 3 years old.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Kiwi.
But yeah, just want to give a quick plug since we're kind of close to 3,000 followers on the old Instagram. Got to get that synergy going with YouTube and
That's right.
Instagram and Twitter and everything.
That's right.
So yeah, quick plug for that.
I liked it. I like it.
We also have a new member here, Tebagong 101.
Ooh. Thank you,
so
Tebagong.
much. That's a basement battalion.
Hey.
So
And you know what, Justin? I got my pile of loot this week, and there's a new challenger, a new fodder figure for the giveaway. And I think it's a banger. I think it's a banger.
uh-oh. I'm curious. So you'll be showing, or you said you got that pile of loot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll be showing that later.
Yep. Definitely.
Cool.
Synergy. What's up, Brennan? How are you?
What up?
We're just getting started. Yeah.
You're not late. So let's just jump right into the Black Series news.
Oh.
Our first thing from Yakface over on their Instagram, they posted a picture of the wax paper that comes with the Halloween figures, and they said, more monster mashups arriving in the US. So things are arriving that haven't even been announced or revealed yet. Very similar to last week, the Rebel and Stormtrooper 2-pack has been arriving in the US. There's not even a photo out there of these things. But they're showing up. Yep. And Nate, we very frequently hate on carbonized credit collection, but why don't you just tell all our new viewers how we feel about the Halloween figures?
Well, it's no secret, but we do have a lot of new viewers, but it's no secret. We love horror movies. We love Halloween. It's our favorite time of the year. We always have a nice little Halloween get together, watch tons of horror movies, which it's summer horror season right now. So we've been knocking some out as well because, horror is all year round. But when it comes to the Halloween figures, all of our logic, our reasoning, all of that goes out the door because they're Halloween themed. And that's all that matters to us. The Wookiee, awesome. The Clone Trooper, even better. And I can't wait to see what these figures are going to be for this year's selection.
Yeah. So these are just repaints that we gobble up, and it's so specific of a thing that we just can't not love them. We also enjoy the holiday figures. I'm not a completist. I'm more of a as I see them or as there's a deal. Nate has quite a bit more than me, but I do also support the holiday figures over carbonizing credit collection. I just think they serve much more of a purpose.
I mean, they're fun novelty items.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I look at them. I actually have every single holiday trooper, not gonna lie, but they only come out during the season, and then I put them back in their box and they go back in the closet until next Christmas when I bring them out again for a display. Now the Halloween figures, though, I have them out. Actually, the clone was on the set. Oh yeah, he's right here. Yeah, You're just barely out of frame.
And old Xander, I almost got the ratio on him. I almost got the ratio on old Xander, but it didn't quite work out. I was hoping for a few more likes on that comment. Xander, I know you're watching. Just in my head, get ratioed. Because the Halloween figures are dope.
That's right.
And yeah, I completely agree, Jayhawk. Not for you, but, and they're repaints that sell. So, like, this isn't like Holocom, where none of those shitty things are going to sell. They're all just sitting in stock or heavily discounted, and then the new ones, certified rotters, and they're not even out yet.
That's right.
So this is better, Give me the Stormtroopers, give me the Rebels, give me the Clone Troopers, But I'm also down for some fun stuff like this. And yeah, a lot of people are saying Count Dooku as a reference to Christopher Lee playing Dracula. However, I feel like there would be some sort of rights thing, like
Probably,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
some sort of likeness approval that they would have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Zooboy.
Artificial. Here, let's refresh.
Yeah.
Hey, get ratioed, Xander. Get ratioed.
Just had to call it out on stream.
Yeah. So I do think they couldn't straight up call it like Count Dracula Dooku, but maybe they could like make it sort of look like him and just call him something else.
Right. They could say it's just like vampire.
Yeah.
Duke, can't use the name Dracula, perhaps.
Yeah.
Just call him a random vampire or some sort. And then Peter Cushing as Van Helsing. Moff Tarkin as vampire hunter.
Yeah. We did hear that this was a 2-pack.
Right.
Via Yak Face on that episode of Black Series Cantina podcast. So I wonder if this is the 2-pack or if they're doing like multiple figures, maybe some individual releases.
Right. Hard to say. Blood-sucking Dooku. Because there was only 2 Halloween figures released previously, so maybe that's all they're going to do again. It's just two figures this year, but they decided to lump them in to a 2-pack.
Yeah.
So they, sell both of them, I suppose.
Target exclusive again, we're thinking. They've got to be exclusives again. There's no way these are going to be mainline.
Somewhere.
Hopefully not Walmart, because that's been like a new little... I feel like they've been getting quite a bit more than they usually get. Especially, like, they've been getting 2-packs and stuff, and I'm like, cut that out. Like, give all that to Target. Like, if you have to choose between Walmart and Target, I'm going Target for exclusives.
Mm-hmm. But either way...
a Ghost Jabba.
Ooh. That'd be like a translucent plastic Jabba. I'd buy that. I'd definitely cop that.
Yeah, could be Amazon. I mean, there's no way for us to know that. We just know they're coming, but we can pretty much guarantee they'll be exclusive. Fig, right. Enjoy your queso, brother. Enjoy your queso. Yeah, I don't know. I love the green skeleton one because I was literally that kid, one of those Halloweens where I was the green skeleton, like the generic, like probably Walmart costume. So I like that release. I also like the Wookiee because it comes with the pail. Yep,
the pail totally saves it.
And they made the Beskar stacks like Hershey's chocolate. And that's all it takes for us to completely turn our brains off and gobble it up.
100%. But
we're here for it.
That's okay.
Maybe do something with a stormtrooper. Maybe do like a white skeleton, but it's a stormtrooper, like instead of the green and black one.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But yeah, obviously the Count Dooku idea is excellent. Yeah, I actually seen a Maroc at my local Walmart. They must have got another case of that specific wave in. So, yeah. Side note, I did see a Maroc.
Get your Marocs.
Pretty sure you heard Yak say it was an Amazon exclusive 2-pack. That's fine. Join that Discord so you get that link. You won't miss it.
That's right.
Jar Jar from the Black Lagoon.
I'll take it. I'll take that in a heartbeat.
Grim Reaper Palpatine.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here.
Maybe they should do, like, since they did a skeleton, they should do, like, and they did a werewolf, they should do, like, a pumpkin head. Kind of do, like, the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Like, they should do a witch and a pumpkin head figure of some kind.
Then it will be a Halloween 3 reference. And we'll be satisfied.
Yep. And then they get sued. Yeah, Dengar is the mummy. I've heard that one before too.
Yep. Makes sense. There's a lot of really a lot of potential.
Yep.
But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, it'd be kind of cool if they just did those zombie troopers from Ahsoka and called them like the Death Trooper with like the mask cracked and it has like
Right.
the exposed jaw and it's like a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
That'd
Now,
be sick.
that would be amazing. Those should just be mainline, you know?
Oh yeah, that's also true.
Star Killer with a hockey mask.
How do you head as a turnip? I'm down.
Yes, a
Just kidding.
turnip. Ghostface Vader.
Yep, but more are coming, so get ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
Just we like them. They're fun.
Yeah. Fun.
And then, up next in the news, we have our first in-hand look of the new Darth Sidious, and the answer to if it reuses any previous sculpt or if it's a completely new mold has finally been answered, and it is reuse. But don't let that scare you off because it's very fine reuse. It's not like something egregious. It's not like the previous Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to give a shout out to brief_AD_7945 on Reddit. That's where these photos come from. Of course, I had to download them because we don't do the whole browser looking at photo thing.
Right.
We don't do that.
We need higher quality.
Right. So, yeah, there's about 7 shots of this person just doing a comparison. The lightning hands are different, as we all suspected, which is great.
That's interesting. But I guess it makes sense given what body is underneath.
Yeah. I was reading the comments in the Reddit post, and they said you can't even use their different pegs, too. Like, these won't even fit in the other Emperor.
Ah.
So they're completely different.
I wonder if Joris will be different then.
Yeah, true. Sabayoth.
Yeah. Sabayoth. I mean, he looks great, though. Automatically. I'm digging it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Soft goods look nice. I like the sculpted plastic hood. That
Like his
photo
little
reel.
evil smirk.
Yeah.
Now, here's what really mattered. And this was very surprising at first, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. But under the robes for Sidious is Book of Boba Fett Luke Skywalker.
This was honestly not what I would have expected. Totally expected reuse.
Like, bro is fit underneath those robes in Revenge of the Sith.
Right. And he's got his little, he's got a tunic, too.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and Mike Case pointed this out in our group chat. Is this skirt piece going to hinder the figure's ability to sit?
Yes. I was thinking that the body reuse is fine, but why even include the little skirt piece? Just like, because it's a separate piece. So, like, just don't produce it for this.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it's going to have an effect. I should just grab my Book of Boba Fett, Luke, and we could figure it out live.
Yeah, because I don't have that figure. I never got it. Yeah, I agree, Brendan. Totally unexpected.
All
right, Nate's gonna grab it. It was a little jarring at first, but if you really think about it, the lower half or whatever 75% of Luke here is great. It means the figure more than likely has butterfly joints. The legs are going to be excellent. It's the deep cut single joint system, not pinless. I have seen people calling this pinless. Technically not pinless in the industry term, in the industry standard. That would be double jointed pinless. But it's a well articulated sculpt. So I really don't think this is going to be a big deal. Again, the only thing that we're going to find out right here is if the skirt piece is going to hinder the ability to sit. Like if people are going to 3D print a throne. Oh, he even has a chair.
I have this scrapped chair 3D print, and I have Mr. Luke here.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
If you really wanted to, you could cut that away too.
Right. Yeah. So he could still sit. The
Nice.
verdict is he could still sit.
Yeah.
Not bad. All right. Cool. Now that we settled that live on stream, that's what the Lazy Sunday live stream is all about.
Yeah. And know that that's not how it works. They're fresh runs, so they're intentionally using the mold. It's not that they have an overstock of Lukes.
Right.
Or anything like that. For figure, they're fresh runs. There's no one taking figures back from the stores and then like kit bashing them onto other figures. That's just not how it is. These are fresh runs. They're just using the Luke mold when they're producing these Sidious figures. Yeah, I agree, Zoo. I'll take it. And yeah, that's a good point. You're not going to be able to see it because you're always going to have the robes on. There's absolutely no reason to take the robe off. The brownish reddish robes from Revenge of the Sith. So I mean,
probably you wouldn't even really need to cut it off. You could probably just separate the body at the ball joint.
Yeah.
Yep, comes right off. Totally separate piece.
Yeah, the arms are going to be different as well. It's not reuse from...
He's been halved.
Oh, no. He's pulling them all. Well, there could potentially be. So, when Yoda comes in to his little room and he force pushes the 2 royal guards against the wall, Sidious is sitting in this outfit. Because that's what starts their whole fight. So if you specifically wanted that look, you would need to 3D print a throne, first of all, if you want a Revenge of the Sith specific one.
Right.
But I'm sure some people would just use the Return of the Jedi one. Cross cuts. Yeah, I mean, it's saving money on... it'd be unnecessary new tooling, if that makes sense. Like, it's not 100% necessary.
Yep. You could even see the arm. So it's totally the Book of Boba Fett figure. Probably different torso overlay and obviously head and hands. But that sleeve is the same too. So the arms are also Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really, it's not bare legs with a tennis skirt under there. I feel you.
That would have been hot.
Yeah. Then we also have some action shots here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lightsaber looks good. Lightning hands look good.
Yeah,
soft goods look good.
Soft goods look great. The sculpted hood looks excellent. I know certain people are not a fan of the mix, but I am. Like, when I just look at that figure, they sculpted it how it needs to look. And then the rest of it being soft goods, I'm like, that adds value.
Yep.
Like, soft goods almost always adds a sense of value for me and for a lot of other people.
Yeah. I think we might have another banger on our hands here, brother. We might have another banger.
Some of these shots do have a soft focus because there's things in the foreground. I want to see the texture on this. Like, I really want to see a close-up shot of this because it is pretty textured with like a design in the film, but just none of the photos are really showing me exactly if there's like actual sculpted detail. Because right here the focus is on this, so it's like just out of focus. Maybe.
I don't know. It looks painted. It looks like there's a small triangle there that has like a little... I want to see
if it's like textured, because that'd be nice.
Yeah. Hard to tell. Hard to tell for sure. But he looks great. These photos are nice, and it's good to finally confirm what's under the robe, you know?
Yeah, just to take a look at the post about what he says. He says, to be honest, he looks great. Definitely an upgrade, in my opinion, over the older one. Other than the robes not being black, might be harder to put in an OG display. Well, This is the Revenge of the Sith red robe one. I like this one way more. I checked the body underneath the robe to see if it was reuse, and it is, but it's not the old body. It's reuse of Book of Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker. Again, in my opinion, as a base, it's much better than the old one. This is also pinless too, which, technically not pinless. Head sculpt is also significantly better. The hands seem also newly sculpted, but they are in the same position as the old ones, but I may be wrong. Overall, great looking new Sidious. My only complaint is that I can't really get the eyes hidden under the hood look. The head has articulation, though limited, but the way the hood is molded, I can't get him to look up enough to get the eyes hidden. And then there is some comment. There is some comment about if the electricity can fit in the other figure, and he cannot. Yeah, right here. The pegs are too small for the original. They slip out. So that does pretty much confirm that it's brand new for the hands.
Help, I've fallen and I can't get up, Palpatine.
Oh my.
He broke his leg.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were saying, it was a little jarring to see Book of Boba Fett Luke under the skirt, but it's fine.
Yeah, I still think it's going to be a, like Fig said, looking banger status so far. Sculpted hood looks fantastic. Fingers crossed they use sculpted hood on the pipelined A New Hope Leia. I do hope that as well.
Yeah.
Also, Hunter, thanks for being a member for 28 months. He says, happy Sunday, getting my sweet, sweet Airborns tomorrow. Ordered 3 of the normal, 2 of the sniper. Going to try and ignore the Purge Trooper helmet usage. I'll say it. It's easy to ignore. I think you'll be okay.
I actually
Hunter.
don't know what is the difference, because I thought people have been saying for years, just reuse the Purge Trooper helmet. Like, we have this helmet, but what's different?
I think it's just slight variations as far as I understand. I'm sure Hunter could tell us more, as he's the 212th expert. But thank you for the channel support.
Very true. It's just crazy because for years everyone was saying we have the parts for this figure, just do it. But then they did it, and then they're like, wrong helmet.
Right. Mike says, I was hoping for an all-naked body under the robe with white boxer shorts with pink hearts on them. Fig says, only issue with fixed Hard's good hood. Limited evil Sith looks privy to a soft good one, but the sculpt on the hood is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see the articulation.
Yeah, what we can actually get out of him. But still, it'll serve its purpose, though. And at least we have Revenge of the Sith figures.
Yep.
See you, Kenobi.
Later. All right. Up next in the Black Series news, we have a huge, massive factory leak. And I just saved the one that Luke sent. And where did it go? Because he sent a better image. And I'll show you guys what I mean by that. Here it is. Let me just put them right next to each other. So, if you guys remember, we had this factory leaked image from a few months ago that ended up being Enoch, Osha, and the Mando Shriekhawk. Do not open the group chat on stream. What's going on, bro?
That's what I'm saying.
Why are you... Nothing bad is in there. What do you mean? Why is... Why is bro freaking out? He said, oh, phew. Well, I don't have a Mac anyway. Like, I don't have, like, the Apple texting thing on my computer. But, are you insinuating that we're going to get in trouble if we show this? I don't care. Let them come. They've already made it known they don't want to talk to us, so We're all good here. But if you guys recall, like I said a few months ago, there was a factory leak that came true. Now we have another one. Source unknown. It was just randomly posted in the Discord, and it looks pretty legit. And oh my gosh, Luke sent a brightened, like more highly contrasted version of this so you can see it better, because the original photo was like super dark for some reason. Like, why? But this appears to be IG-12, because that's the one with Grogu in it.
Right.
And then the one on the right appears to be the Imperial Armored Commando.
Oh.
A shot from the back with the little jetpack. So awesome! I can't wait to get that Imperial Armored Commando. Am I gonna get IG-12? Hell no! I don't care if it's a completely new sculpt.
But as Toby says, maybe that could lead to what we really need: a new IG-88.
Yeah, that's
and
facts.
then give us a new IG-11 as well, because they both need it.
Yeah, so if you guys don't remember, they pipelined these guys. The Imperial Armored Commando from Mando 3.
Yep. One of the good things in Mandalorian season 3.
True.
A good trooper design.
Yeah. So I'll definitely pick these up.
Oh yeah, they look really cool. And you could put them next to Moff Gideon, the season 1 version.
Yeah, because we don't have that one. But they pipelined the helmet, though.
Yeah, great.
Or they revealed the helmet. They did a full review on the helmet. I'm the opposite, getting IG-12 and skipping the trooper. J, what are you doing?
Classic Jayhawk.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then... So that's that. And then IG-12. Come on. IG-11 when he has little Grogu in there for your Marvel cringy humor.
Yes.
It's funny because he's cute. We didn't have enough cute moments with Grogu. We need to add 10 more.
When Grogu comes on screen, I get excited.
And we just hit 400 people for that, so thanks.
Perfect. Don't forget to hit like.
Yeah, and apparently this is, going to be a new sculpt, I would assume. I would hope.
It's, honestly, it's a little hard to tell for
Yeah.
IG. Like, especially looking at the legs, I was like, ooh. Could it just be like new arms, new bits on the legs? Like, how, like, the white paneling that we're seeing? The head's definitely new, because you could just tell the head in general is way bigger than the
old, 100%.
IG droid. But I don't know. The panels in different color plastic is what's kind of throwing me off. But of course, it's a prototype, so
yeah, of course, it's like a prototype concept.
Yeah,
thingy mabob.
I hope it's totally new, because the scale needs to be fixed on those, like 100%.
Yeah. See, I was a big fan of Grogu, but then they just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. I'm like, How many cute, marketable moments do we need with Grogu? How many do we need?
He became a minion, brother. He got minioned.
Yeah, and they just started beating a dead horse. And yeah. When will they be announced officially? We have no clue. These have just been pipelined. So we have like the pipeline graphic, and now they're, they might be in the concept prototype stage, so probably soon. Probably a few months from now, maybe, because there was also a previous factory leak image that ended up coming to fruition a few months later. 3, 4, maybe months later. Yeah, do we have that coming up? When is that? SDCC.
That's soon. I'm pretty sure. In a few weeks, if I recall correctly. It's always cool to see figures, though, in their kind of like prototype staging. Just a little bit of, insight into the process. an
Yep.
early sneak peek. If these are, legit, who knows?
Yeah, and someone's risking their job for IG-12 and the Imperial Armored Commando. Someone risked their job for a Mando repaint and OSHA. So, and what was what's
Captain
his name?
Enoch.
Enoch. Yeah.
Captain Enoch.
Yep. So, I guess keep leaking these photos. I'll take them,
Yeah.
but like, don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble for a little old me. What's up, Samuel?
This is a
Got some
potentially
leaked
leaked,
images.
leaked image. Could be some new figgies. I really want IG-88. We need more bounty hunters. Totally
Yeah,
agree.
he needs a new sculpt.
Yes, many Bothans. Many Bothans died to send these photos.
Where's Mon?
Yeah,
It's
here we
the
go.
janitor.
Are we clicking on this comment at the same time?
Which one?
It's the janitor.
Oh, yeah. Hux is the spy, of course. Yep, it's Hux.
Yep. Oh, it could be Fulcrum. I do like that. Yeah, I agree with Kobe. Leak the new Luke and Leia. Just tell us if it's hard or soft goods. That's
Just
really
tell
all
us-
we need to know.
Just tell if they are A-lister repacks
Dude,
in Galaxy packaging.
it would be so sickening if those were the A-listers.
Yep. We'd be busting out the laser eyes for the third time in 1 year.
Hey, I mean, look at those views on the past couple episodes. Figure it out.
I mean, the sheep fall for it every time. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, true, but just kidding. Just kidding.
We love laser eyes, and so does everyone else.
People really
Apparently.
love the laser eyes. Like, you think it's just like a clickbait scheme? It is, but it also works.
100%.
And we actually did have negative thoughts in that video, so not clickbait.
Also true.
Yeah, so moving on from the factory leak, we're going to go right into... This is a screenshot from Straight Oto Gunga, who chats with Vale's Toy Store. Because I'm sure everyone has seen, if you watched last week, yep, there it is. They decided to wake up, and they started cooking again.
They're cooking.
Look at that beautiful 212 Airborne that Hasbro absolutely refuses to do. They said, I want to leave money on the table. Let's do more Holocom. Which, of course, that's also Disney, Lucasfilm, Hasbro. It's all of them working together to leave money on the table by not doing more simple repaints that our cloners will eat up, including ourselves. Because I would 1000% buy this, and I did, but hypothetically, like, if it was a Hasbro release, I'd gobble it up, you know?
Yeah. I definitely wanted to talk about the 212, but let's talk about this first, and then we'll talk
Sure.
about the Airborne Trooper.
Sure. So, Straight Otogunga, sliding in the DMs of Vale's Toy Store.
Look at that W Riz.
Mrs. Allie E. Vale has decided to cook. They asked about Neo. And they also did a fan vote on Facebook. I don't know what Facebook group that was, or if it was a Facebook page. Because I'll be honest, I don't join toy collecting Facebook groups. That's like the last place I want to be, unless it's Black Series Cantina. But they said, hello, friend. This is really cool. Thank you very much for doing this. Unfortunately, we cannot log into Facebook to view this post. We will find blah, 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 blah. Neo is coming soon.
Whoa!
So, this is the same way we knew the 212th Airborne was coming, is just DMing them. We don't do it. It's just other people do it, and then we take their screenshots.
That's right.
To talk about. So they have confirmed that Neo is coming soon. And if you guys don't know Commander Neo, It's this guy from Revenge of the Sith.
So hyped.
A
Dude,
long requested clone.
they
Long
get
requested.
they give us Neo and a couple of the basic troopers too.
Yeah, give us the 91st. That's what they should do. If they
Oh,
really want to start
cook.
cooking again, let's get the 91st Recon Corps, like this regular trooper,
Dude, imagine if they do the pilot.
like these.
Oh.
And then we need
Oh,
Hasbro to do this Jedi.
yeah.
And then Vales can cook on the clones. Yeah, they need to do this right after Neo.
Yep. Let's get those cooking.
Yeah,
Let's
and
let's let's cook them at the same time.
yeah, and I feel like live action clones just gotta take priority. They take priority for me. Those Revenge of the Sith clones, they're all so sick. Bakara, Neo, Gree, the 41st Scout Troopers. There's so many cool ones in Revenge of the Sith. The Galactic Marines. They need to Hasbro, Disney, Lucasfilm, they need to wake up.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how it just seems like such a blind spot to them. Like they just are so resistant to the idea of just pumping them out. Like just pump them out.
And you know what this makes me think of is the whole Clones of the Republic line, and how maybe that 187th purple one wasn't that exciting.
No, I think
Like maybe that but you know what I mean. It was exciting, and I'm glad to have it in the collection. But it's such a random deep cut when I feel like they're leaving so many more like common sense ones on the table.
okay, yeah, I definitely can agree with you there, especially like you said with live action clones that we don't have yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it is nice to see Vales back on track, though. Getting back on track with the stuff that's actually from the movies, not their made up Captain Enoch Purge Trooper.
Yeah, because you guys have been watching. They've been doing the opposite of cooking lately.
Mm-hmm.
They must have heard us talking all that shit, so they decided to.
Like, oh,
You're welcome,
Yeah.
cloners. You're welcome. This is all because of us.
You want to see us cook? I'll cook for you.
Yeah.
And then they did.
Just kidding, by the way.
Yeah, no, definitely.
People really don't catch that sarcasm, so.
It did not have anything to do with us. But, Justin, I do have the 212 Airborne in hand, brother.
Yeah, let's take a gander.
This figure is really nice. I am enjoying it. So I saw some people asking some questions about it. My first impressions is that it's a really solid release. It does have some issues, though.
Mm-hmm.
So mainly to kind of highlight those, I gotta adjust the pose so here it is with the head off. This is a unique sculpt. I'm assuming that this is a sideshow sculpt that's been sized down.
So random.
Yeah, if you could just see right here, the head sizes are vastly different.
Yeah.
So it's a really tiny head, and the helmet itself, really tiny hole. Ooh. So my initial thought, like I was telling you, was, oh, maybe I'm going to swap the pieces, but not swappable. The helmet here the hole is way too small for 2023.
Yeah, is that the 2020 body or the 2023?
This is the Airborne.
Yeah.
Airborne is 2020.
Yeah, which it's like the design outweighs like my criticism of that, but still
I think
put it on the 2023.
I agree, but I do think that the straps and the extra bit on the shoulders does help with a little bit of like the bulkiness. But so with this head though, if you leave it on facing, unfortunately the helmet is too shallow.
Yeah,
and you get really bad chin. Like, of course, You can angle it and kind of hide it. I also think it sits a little high, like
Yeah,
like the neck positioning. So what I
it looks
did,
like he's looking down, and
yeah, like so I turned the head around and put the helmet on this way,
oh,
and I think it looks
that's better.
better. You get a little bit more range out of it, and of course the chin sticks out from the backside, but
Yeah,
who cares about the backside? That's what I have done to avoid the see no chin now.
yeah.
So
I wish they would just go. Speaking about Hasbro, I wish they would just go back to ball joints on these clones.
hmm,
Like, I don't need the head. I don't need the painted head or the unpainted head. Just get rid
right.
of the heads on the clones, unless it's like a super specific character. Just give me that ball joint when it goes
Yeah,
all the way around,
I'm sorry. It's
unhindered.
Sergeant Barlex. But look at those paint app details, dude. You see that nice little silver there?
Yeah, he's the one that goes, "Sir, no one could have survived that fall."
Yep. And yeah, even though it's on the 2020 body, I still am digging it. Of course, that is a little bit of a negative considering we know they have the 2023 body mold.
Yep.
But this is still really cool to have. This is a figure we've been waiting to get for a very long time. And I think overall, Vale's really delivered on this. I do want to say, though, of course, kind of goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. $28 for this is a little ridiculous, uh, considering it's mostly reuse. It's a knockoff.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we need to bring those prices down a little bit here. But this does look great,
Yeah.
and he matches well with the other Alley 2/12. But of course, if you put him next to Cody,
Well, that looks great.
I
In
think
my opinion, at least.
the oranges are a little mismatched.
Yeah. How about the Walgreens 212?
They're mismatched as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this looks closest. This matches the Alley figures. So your Waxer and Boyle, your ARF troopers, he'll look good next to them, like really good, pretty much spot on paint match. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cody's a miss, and the other ones are also a miss. But I think it looks fine. I've already had him on my shelf with my other 212 figures, and he looks great. It's only under harsh lighting does it really pop out,
Yeah. Do you want to just say a quick thank you to the Sex Man official? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Just light off a firework. There you go. Light off like a firecracker and make that same effect. Then we also have a super chat from Drew Originals. Thank you so much. Dremels off the top of the hair and shave the nose off so the helmet sits down where it belongs. Never using the white face. Weathered it up good. Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds good.
That's what my next thought was going to be. It's just kind of cut the hair off, make it sit a little shorter, a little bit more on the shoulders. But I don't know. I kind of like having a little bit more range. Helps you with a little bit of attitude for this particular clone.
How much would Hasbro charge though? Less than $30.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we'd have to pay shipping and blah, blah, blah. But it's just the principle of paying $30 for a knockoff.
And that is, I mean, don't get it wrong. That is above Hasbro retail.
Right.
Hasbro retail is $25, and the multi-packs, they've even been cheaper than $25. And even the retailer exclusive figures have gone back down from $24.99. They've actually been doing mild price cuts this past year or 6 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at all those Mando Privateer and the Night Shriek Hawk or whatever they're called, they're $25. They're not like the Target exclusive $27.99 price. So that is worth pointing out. We've been getting little micro price cuts lately.
That's true. We do like a micro price cut.
Is Black Series not good, or did I miss something? No, we love Black Series, and we are a Black Series YouTube channel.
Yep.
We love the line.
Volts, this is soft plastic. The comma this time is a soft plastic. The beige, just like Barlex and Revenge of the Sith, because they do also have a sniper version which has a black comma, and it has the accurate Purge Trooper, the sniper like DC 15, and but with these being so expensive, it was like I didn't want to get both of them.
Piss me off, boy. Piss me off.
I think what doesn't have the black paint on the helmet, so technically you have to buy both and swap helmets and get the true theatrical. Yeah, that's fair, but I think this is good enough. I'm not going to drop that much money on getting all of these.
Right.
But he does look good. And Justin, you've got yours sitting here as well, waiting for you to come pick it up.
Okay. I'm on my way.
And then, yeah, like I was showing too, comes with a little bag accessory too, which I think nice. This might be perfect for a little indoor rebel action.
Nice.
Because I don't think Barlex has this little strap thing on. If you look at the scene, so it's a fun little bonus accessory. But that is the 212th Airborne.
Stray Otogunga says we should expect a Vale's actual Jedi Fallen Order Purge Trooper on the 2020 body.
Now that could be cool depending on pauldron color or what it is.
Do I want to that would be a...
Okay.
Would that be a first where I buy the knockoff of something that already exists that Hasbro did only because they're using a more modern body? Would that be the first
for
instance?
You? Yes. Because you only have like the named clones.
I have the named 501st, and then I have Waxer, Boyle, ARC Trooper.
But like someone like me, like I have a 501st on the 2020 body, which doesn't exist, like the 501st Grunt. I have a 212th on the 2020 body, which did exist, but I just, those were a little hard to get, so I got one of those as well.
Yeah, I agree with Jonathan. They should do the Electro Baton one that we're missing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say was that's the question I was going to pose to you was, what if it's the Electro Baton one we're missing?
But then, like, my Electro Baton one is on the 2020, and all the other ones are on the 2013 buck. I'm like, and something I've been not really a fan of lately is mixing all these different sculpts. I've been trying to sort of streamline things, but then I literally just picked up that Airborne.
Yeah, I mean the Airborne is a must. This is something we've been waiting for so long.
Easily one of the most desirable clones out of the entire saga. And yeah, they're also going to restock the Wolf Pack, and I'm like, gosh, like if they would just put it on the 2023, I would be much more inclined.
Yeah, it's just, you just know they're not going to happen though. Like, especially,
but they have it. I'm like,
I know they do.
You already stole it, so use it.
Clearly, I don't know. Like maybe, like I said, maybe they broke the mold. Maybe it broke.
Yeah, they snapped that shit.
It's the cast iron mold, the steel injected mold.
Yeah,
broke. But yeah, I mean, it does seem like Hasbro is kind of reluctant to do like the unique helmet troopers as well, like almost specifically. They gave us Clone Trooper Hawk. Why did they never give us a different Clone Trooper pilot? Why have they never done that?
Yeah, I
like there's pilots for every ranking, I would imagine, and they wear the same outfit.
What's your main reasoning for not going all in on Veils? I mean, I have tons. I just don't get every single last one because I've been trying to streamline the Clone Trooper bodies. There's so many kit bashes and so many different sculpts with clones. Stormtroopers, we have 2. Clones have like 5, 6, or 7 if you're counting like the kit bashes, like the Kenobi Purge Trooper is like a kit bash. Like, or the Elite Squad Trooper has like Bly legs and then 2020 body. Like, There's just so many weird little kit bashes. I've been trying to streamline it because I want all the clones to look the same. Then Vales is doing 2020, but they've done the 2023 before, but then they stopped doing the 2023. And they're just putting all these out on the 2020. But I've sold a lot of my 2020, especially since Hasbro has been redoing some of their 2020s, such as the 332nd Ahsoka Clone Trooper in that Target 2-pack. Now I'm really making Jayhawk's head spin.
Right.
So I just don't like how they all look so different. All my Stormies look the same. Just 2020 Stormtroopers.
Right.
All the clones look different, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I hear you, but I still have all of my clones on full display, all mixed up.
Even the 2013 ones.
Yep, I still have a few.
Dang.
I still have one of the 501st, one of the 212th, Coruscant Guard, the green one, which I can never remember the
442nd Siege Battalion.
I think that sounds right. I still have them. I still have one of each of those on display, but everything else is 2020 or 2023.
Yeah, so that was our Vales Minute. And again, the whole reason we're talking about that is because Neo is coming soon. And I say all that, and then will I get the Neo? Probably, because Hasbro, for whatever reason, just refuses to do the theatrical clones. Probably because of this amalgamation of like the 2020 and the 2023 body. And they take some inspiration from animated Clone Wars, and they take some inspiration from the live action look of the Disney Plus stuff. And so then if they try to go back and do Revenge of the Sith, it's not going to look screen accurate because they already have this body. And I just don't see them doing the Revenge of the Sith clones in their theatrical looks. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I feel like they would have done it already, especially like we have Ki Adi Mundi. We need Bakara and the Galactic Marines. Let me get that pipeline or something, but they're not going to do it.
Yeah. And so good thing Vales is there. And they're back in the kitchen.
Yep. They decided to wake up and stop doing stupid nonsense.
Yep. What's up, Darth Blaze? Nice to see you. We got Israel here. Hey, fellas, I'm getting back into Black Series. What should I pick up first? I have 0 figures currently. Ki, Adi, Mundi.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the era you'd like to collect, whether you're OT, PT, Disney Plus era, Clone Wars.
Droideka. That's a good one.
Yeah, get the Super Battle Droid regular release. Get the Palpatine Sidious. Get the Droideka.
Dante's...
Get Jar Jar. Because
Ooh,
we
yes.
forgot Jar Jar. We forgot Jar Jar in our top 10 most essential prequel trilogy figures that are like easily attainable. We forgot Jar Jar, he's permanently like $15 on Amazon.
Even cheaper if you have an Ollie's or something like that nearby. Justin, do you want to talk? Dante's Toys is asking, are we going to discuss the Cantina? Did you guys see the recent video from Black Series Cantina with their guest saying original concept for the Cantina had a lot more figures and electronics?
Yep, Jake from Forlom to Zuckus was their most previous guest. And he basically just confirmed that those images we saw were true when it was like, you know, it originally included 8 figures and electronic, lighting, and that was all prototype concept stuff. So it's kind of not fair, but also fair to be heavily disappointed by that. Because it's just like, what could have been sort of thing. But yeah, we're at 5,629. Nate, of course, you ended up backing this HasLab. So
crazy.
Can you talk about that while I use the bathroom?
Sure. I can.
For the first time in a few weeks, I was on such a hot streak of not using it.
Bro's got to go to the bathroom.
It's because I had this large cup.
Ooh. Large cup
Just,
of H2O, brother.
just like the cantina. Cups. I love my cups.
Dude, cups are great. But
Gotta love cups.
yeah. Fig says a $500 playset for Happy Meal toys. Absolutely. I'm going to put my Grimace in there. Yeah, I mean, Wilbon, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like all HasLabs have the slump when it comes to like the middle of the campaign. Like they always have an explosive beginning and an explosive ending. So I'm not surprised that it's crawling right now, but yeah, I am wondering about the fate of Arleal. I really do hope that we get all tiers. We need that Arleal. Like the fact that it's a never been done, I feel like could help it in the end of those people that are really going to be like wanting Arleal, since there's no other figure version of him in existence. That might be the final little push that we'll need, and people will see that on the last day and realize, you got to get on this if you want a figure of the Wolfman. I definitely do. I hope that we cross all tiers, and I still have faith at this point that it will. I think it's going to be like any other HasLab where it's going to explode in the last couple of days. So I think we're going to be just fine. Positive thoughts. I want that Arleal. Jayhawk, you're still predicting that the final backing count is between 12 and 14. Rena, thank you. Told you guys I was going to do it. Told you. Dante's says, if this doesn't fund, how badly will it affect future HasLabs? Probably TVC wise, I don't think it'll really have a huge effect on them because this will be the first L. So I don't think it'll really do anything other than it'll probably be vehicles only from here on out for Vintage Collection. If this didn't fund, which it is going to back. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Arleal, it might be the push we need. And I would have to say it was a good idea for them to put him as the last one, because that could be the tipping point since he has never been done.
Yeah. It'll definitely back. We just don't know if it's going to hit all the tiers. It's a shorter campaign. You know what I was thinking? I don't know. Maybe I can go back. Let's see. I want to show you this post. Here it is.
All right.
Mr. Stevie,
show me the
advocate.
Show me the post.
This post really highlighted something for me. So he posted this like image, this old school black and white image of the cantina, and this is from the actual set, when they're filming and everything. So it's completely crowded, it's full, and then it's just empty. when it comes to their product, their Hasbro product, and I'm like, this wasn't the best look. I didn't
see this post.
I saw it yesterday, and I was like, it's not really a good idea to show what it could be, and then it's just freaking empty. It's just like bare ass, nothing.
Not even the base offering figures. Like they.
Oh, okay. Eventually, they got that filter applied to it, but it was the first thing that made me think like, wow, this doesn't come with a lot. And then it
comes with a lot of cups.
It does come with a lot of cups, but I just started thinking about. I started on the drive home from North Carolina. I was listening to Black Series Cantina, and Jake from Forlon Chuzakis was on there, and when he basically confirmed that the original concept for this thing did come with more figures,
right,
and it did come with just more of an overall value with like lighting, and that was part of the prototype or the concept, and the focus groups that they did, and. I got to thinking, and I was like, yeah, this doesn't... There should just be more figures. for $500.
100% agreed.
And at the same time, I was scrolling through Instagram and I just saw this post from Mr. Stevie, which no hate to Mr. Stevie, of course. But it was just jarring to see how full this thing is, and then like, oh, here's ours. It's just a ghost town. It's just like that clash of bare, empty, nothing. I thought that was interesting, and that just made me think, like, man, this should come with more figures. Like, the Biff, musician, Figurin' Dan. Like, why not a Figurin' Dan? At the very least, singular Figurin' Dan, because they recently did that as a figure. Just that comes with it as a base offering. I feel like they need to spice it up. This might be one of those, like, emergency, like, we need to spice it up. Do you think that's possible with 15 days left in this campaign? Like, do you think they're going to throw a bone out there, maybe?
No, I don't see that happening. I feel like they're pretty confident in what they're offering here. And I would have to imagine they're definitely feeling a level of confidence just because every single TVC HasLab has backed and almost hit every single tier. So they're probably feeling pretty confident about this project as a whole. Although, of course, ever since the information leaked, it's been probably the most negatively received TVC HasLab at this point. And even then, I don't even really think there's a whole lot of negativity. There is definitely a bit, but, you know,
it's not like Engine of Vengeance level.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Or even Rancor level.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that are excited about this, and it's kind of, you know, it's not really, I don't know how to say it, maybe fair, but like Zooboy was saying, you know, it's not really worth it unless you're like Nate and I and you already have a bunch of Cantina patrons you can put in it already. So
yeah. And honestly, even as a sixer, like a 6-inch Black Series collector, I'm a sixer who doesn't collect TVC. I have never fully backed that statement where we kind of use it as a point to dunk on TVC collectors that they have decades and decades of 3 3/4 inch figures, because those are different lines. Like, there's going to be TVC collectors just like there's Black Series collectors who only collect Black Series, or TVC collectors who only collect TVC. So personally, like, just my opinion, I don't think it's fair to say, oh, you guys have 20-year, you know, you guys have decades of, you know, you have the Saga collection, you have Power of the Force. I'm like, well, those aren't TVC. They're not on that same quality. They might visually look nice, but they don't have the modern engineering and the sculpt work and the details and the articulation. Not that you need a bunch, but I'm not a fan of that point to use against TVC fans, that they should just be satisfied with their 25-year-old figures to populate the Cantina. I think if they really want to sell this thing, they need to, like Gabriel here is saying, I agree. I think to maybe spice it up, pipeline some Cantina aliens that you have coming out, since they're now saying that the 2025, the year of 25, is going to be, what is the hashtag? Like,
Return to Tatooine.
Yeah. So I think it needs a little more. They need to spice it up a little more. Get some pipelines in there, just so people know, like, and you know, we say COVID collectors and like, oh, all the COVID collectors are leaving, but there's a lot of COVID collectors who are also staying.
Right.
You know, not every single COVID collector is deciding to quit on June 23rd, 2024. Like, there's still plenty of people who just started collecting, so they're not going to have that history of, oh, I collected the Saga collection or Power of the Force or whatever other 3 3/4 inch line. So there's probably still a lot of people who don't have previously existing 3 3/4 Cantina aliens. So if it was someone like me, if I decided right now, jumping into TVC, and I'm going to back this HasLab because the Cantina is super awesome and iconic, I would only have the figures that come with this because the Figure and Dan or the modal node set sold out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tebagong says that's me. Yeah, so I mean, they exist. You guys
Right.
exist.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, for someone like me, you know, it makes a little bit more sense because I already do have the, backlog of characters. Whereas I 100% agree with you. I think they should have included more figures. I think they should pipeline Cantina patrons because, just like we've talked about before, like my biggest fear with this set is them not populating it because they've kind of already proven they struggle a little bit with that with the barge, with the sail barge. There's tons of characters missing that if you bought the TVC sail barge, you would have to fill it with Power of the Force, Saga Collection, Legacy Collection, whatever you will. And they haven't really supported the actual barge themselves. They've given us a few skiff guards. They've given us a couple people on the barge, but they never did any of like the real heavy hitters that you see.
What about this Ben Quadranero sticker?
Yeah, it's great. But so that is a concern of mine for this is like, are they really going to support filling this out, or is it going to be another sail barge situation where, yeah, we're going to get like 5 or 6 figures over the course of 5 years?
Mm.
And that's why, frankly, I'm holding on to all of my patrons I already have. I'm scooping up the ones I don't have already because I don't know what characters they're going to do and which ones they're not. And I guarantee after this backs, it's going to affect the price of every single Cantina patron 3 3/4 inch figure. I think it already is having some effect on it, just in general. Like I've just taken a look at eBay listings and the like over the past few weeks, and stuff is already climbing too. Like that older stuff that still looks good. It's just limited in articulation. A lot of those figures are climbing right now already. And I think once it backs, it's going to get even worse. So it would be nice for them to show off like, hey, we're going to do this patron, this one, this one, this one, this one,
Yeah. And yes, the Cantina band was released, during this previous year, but it's now sold out. So it'd be an easier sell for someone.
I think
they could easily get the modal nodes.
They would be incredibly foolish to not reprint the modal node set.
Yeah.
Although I seriously will not be surprised if they do not reprint the modal node set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just some thoughts on the HasLab. Nate backed it. Obviously, I don't collect TVC, but I will still get to experience it via Nate. So I hope it does make it all the way so you guys can get all the tiers and all that. Oh, I guarantee Nate would open those.
Oh, I'm opening the sisters. Those are getting opened. I'm not opening the Ghost crew figures because they've already shown off that we're getting different Rebels versions of every single character. So those would be a waste to open with those beautiful card backs. But Woo Her, Tonica sisters, they're all getting opened.
Yep.
So yeah, little TVC chat today.
Little HasLab update. We like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for some recent pickups, Nate?
Oh, brother, I've got a lifetime supply of them. I got my pile of loot this week.
Oh, that's right. You got the pile of loot. I have like one thing.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll rapid fire. I'll get us. I'm not going to zoo boy us.
Called out.
Oh
my God.
Play the clip quick.
Welcome to Jabba's Palace.
You want to show your pickup?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, If you guys were watching last 2 weeks ago, you would have saw a package from Tangy Fungus, aka Rebel Scum Photography on Instagram. They sent us this drawing art of the... Yeah, there it is.
It's right here.
That's, yep, we put it right on the set. It was framed and everything. It was so unbelievably cool. And no offense to anyone else who has sent us stuff, of course. We appreciate everyone. But it was so unbelievably cool that I felt bad that both of us wouldn't have it. It usually we have no issues when people send us stuff and it's like, we're going to put this on the set. And that's the out of the basement, figure it out set. It's like both of ours. That's what the set is. It belongs to both of us. But this is one of those things where I was like, I want that. I was like, I want that. So I offered, or I saw if they would be able to commission a second one. Because I didn't want to just be like, make us a second one so I can have one for my own personal collection. So I offered to commission one. And they said that they would just do another one, but they don't like to repeat the same art.
Oh.
So this is different.
Oh.
So it is not just a one-to-one copy.
Okay.
And this time he did request that I wait for the stream. So I have to open this son of a...
Bro didn't get any scissors before this?
No. I forgot.
I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Yeah, for sure. There we go. All right.
Wilbon says Justin got the repaint.
I got the repaint.
Yeah, they're going to be red. It's going to be red clones.
All right, so I'm going to look. Oh my god. What the... Check that out. It's old Max. That's what he did when he was younger.
I like how he has... Is he using force... His legs? Oh yeah, he's using... It is legs. It's canonical legged Max Rebo.
So we got...
That's incredible.
An ARC Trooper... with the Out of the Basement Battalion. We got the LAT. And we even have... I see those blue troopers.
Damn.
I see those blue troopers in the little bubble. Couple LATs. And we have Jedi Max Rebo fighting in the Clone Wars.
Canonical legged appearance. How does he move? Does he float with the Force?
And of course, the Out of the Basement logo. Excellent. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Tangy Fungus. So now Nate and I can both have a fun little piece of art. And I can put it up right over here.
That's awesome. That looks so good.
Yeah, that's insane.
Love the ponytail on Max, too.
A little Ki-Adi Mundi Easter egg.
Gotta get... You know, the Jedi loved their little hair pieces in the prequel era.
Yep.
It was the era of unique hair.
I love the ARC Trooper with the comma. The leg armor.
That's so sick.
Love the LATs in the background and the lasers. Just so much fun detail.
I like that Max looks so serious and like he's kind of got like a real defined jaw and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's mewing in that.
Bye-bye. Cringe.
Shadow Dragon says retconning Max's age. Not again.
How dare they retcon a 2002 sticker book? Hey, Jeremy, thanks for being a member.
Thank you for joining the channel membership.
Yeah.
What's up, Doug?
And Nate's mic went out. Oh no.
My mic's out.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know how to describe it.
Like, what does it sound like?
Oh, it's back now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It went out for like 5 seconds.
The woke Rebo band.
Yep. And that's it for me. Did I show this last week? I got like this organizer.
Your storage drawer.
Yeah,
Yep.
I started working on it. So I have like
We got some heads.
got the Friday.
Ooh.
I started working on it just before the stream. I'm gonna use it for NECA.
Nice.
Gonna use it for NECA storage. But yeah, that is it for me. Not a lot going on in the world of action figure pickups. So
Nice.
I'll pass it off to you.
All right. So, like I said, I did get my pile of loot. But before that, I do have some Cantina patron pickups. I bought a second Ketwall.
Hey.
Look, he's got the pants. I didn't know he came with
Is
pants.
that the one where there's like a face on the opposite?
Yeah, so when we had Boss Bounty on, if you twist the head to this side, it makes a different face. It's 2 figures in one. It's this Ketwall, and then whatever this is.
That's amazing.
So since it's a 2-in-1, grabbed a second, and then I got Tequil, which shout out to Zoo Boy.
Hey.
This is not Zutton.
They're brothers, right?
Yes, this is his brother Tequil. The only figure of him existed in the Power of the Force. So I got Tequil for the Cantina. And then I did also get here's a little throwback, Justin. The Black Series release.
Where did you get that?
Of Ponda Baba. I got this off of eBay.
Because I found them at Ollie's.
Yeah, I saw them at Ollie's, and then of course when I went to go back to grab one, they were gone. So this is a 3.75. This is not actual Black Series 6-inch, but cup comes with the removable arm. This is the one that Tim was talking about where the head is a little small, which it definitely is. I mean, he's got a tiny ass head, and I could see them redoing this for TVC, but who knows if the cut off arm accessory would be included. So I just wanted to pick it up just to play it safe.
Nice.
Moving on to the pile of loot, we'll keep with TVC. Got Zeb for the Ghost.
Hey, Zeb for the Ghost.
Deluxe Zeb, which will be nice to open. I got a couple of figurines because I don't know if they're going to re-release the band set or not. So
I was just talking about those.
At least he comes with 3 instruments, so I could have 3. I can have 3.
And if all else fails, 3 isn't bad.
No, it's really not. Will I miss the Omni box and the other
and the drums and shit?
Yeah, of course. But just to play it safe, I'm just picked up some of the single releases so that I can have those holes filled. Oh, it's fun.
It's a fun. What if it didn't? How pissed would you be?
I wouldn't be that mad, because then I guess I would probably just try and 3D print something similar.
I was going to say, you can scale down any Landspeeder Luke file.
Right.
Any 3D print file, you can scale down to TVC. So, I mean...
Yep. So that's that. If that's what happened, then that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I did get some Black Series in the pile of loot. Got my reinforcements.
Oh, some cloners
that have been sitting in my pile for a minute.
Yeah, they must have been sitting because those processed a while ago.
Oh yeah, it was all the way back. That's how
you were probably going to hit your limit on those.
That's how I think it was down to like 20-ish days or something like that. Same thing
Mm.
with
The
Droideka number 2.
Nice. Sick.
Um,
Gotta have two.
yeah,
Gotta have two.
I've just been building this pile of loot for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
New giveaway option, Justin. I saw this was in stock, and I was like, this would be a good one. Huh?
Hey.
Glavis Ringworld Mando, the
I like
best,
that.
the best 6-inch scale Mandalorian figure. Very hard to acquire. Perfect for a Basement Battalion giveaway.
I like that. That's a good one.
That'll be added into the pile.
The best din they've ever done.
That is correct.
Hasbro, at least.
Also had some Marvel Legends in here, so I did open a couple of these, but I got the new Cable. X-Men. Cable.
It's blue.
And Nightcrawler. Kurt Wagner.
Got my knight.
X-Men 97 Magneto. Justin, you like this costume, don't you?
Sure.
Couple mid-Farlands here.
Got my medal.
Got more Plastic Man.
What the
Build a
what is
figures.
that?
That's Plastic Man, brother.
No,
Read
what
it.
is that Batman? Like, what?
It's Grant Morrison Justice League Batman. That's what he looks like. He's in the all
He looks
black.
like a dad.
He looks like a dad. It's wide bodied. He's thick. So building out Plastic Man in the 90s Justice League. We got Aquaman.
Nice.
Bearded, hook, fist, Aquaman. Now, Justin, I saved the best for last, brother. I know you're going to love these two NECA pickups more than anything.
Okay.
We've got Otis, Driftwood, and Captain Spaulding from House of a Thousand Corpses.
I mean, R.I.P. to Captain Spaulding, but Rob Zombie, bro, can't.
You love Rob Zombie.
I am the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's work.
These are actually two interesting figures, and they're interesting because they are re-releases of very old NECA figures.
Interesting.
They have just been repainted with modern painting techniques. And I got to say, Otis kind of looks like poop. I really wish they would have at least done a new head sculpt. The gist of the character is there. You get it. But I think they could have at least done a new head sculpt for Otis. Captain Spaulding, I think, looks pretty good. It's not bad.
Nice.
It's not bad. But again, we could have... I'm fine with them reusing these bodies, like where there's like no leg articulation on these. They're just kind of meant to stand there. But I think they could have done some more tweaks outside of the paint. They could have updated the heads at the very least. I think that would have went a long way. But it is nice to finally get these figures, though. They were very expensive on the aftermarket. And I really was not collecting when they were available. So it's nice to at least have them. It's good that they re-released figures.
Mm.
They did also just re-release Hannibal Lecter in an ultimate packaging, but it's that old figure again.
Yeah,
and
I was like, what?
And they've been on this weird trend.
Yeah.
You have the Elvis figure they did recently. That is also an ancient NECA figure that they just...
Well, I don't have the Elvis.
Oh, I thought you
I don't have
bought
it,
that
but
one.
we were like searching the internet for it one day.
Okay.
We have the
either
Elton
way.
John.
That's technically it's a reused figure, but they've been on this weird train of re-releasing their old sculpts just with like slightly better paint. And I really think
calling it an ultimate.
Yeah,
They've taken a page out of Jazzware's Pokemon Select book.
Like these are technically not branded ultimates. They're in the different like window pet. So like I'm like, this is fine. But I do agree with you, Justin. It's very weird to be releasing an ultimate package style Hannibal Lecter, and it's just the old Cult Classics figure with slightly better paint apps. So it's kind of a weird thing they're doing. But like I said, I still wanted to get those because I needed them for the horror shelf.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, your favorite movies. Come on, Piglick.
There's something about redneck horror, like just like white trash horror. Like it's like every Rob Zombie movie is just like white trash redneck. Just the depths of depravity. Absolute, just guttural, visceral, honky tonk bullshit. The breakfast scene from Halloween 2007. That's all. If you ever are like, I wonder what Rob Zombie's all about. Just watch just type into YouTube the breakfast scene from Halloween 2007. That's all you need to watch, and then you'll have seen all of his movies.
You'll see the Criterion logo pop up after it's played.
Exactly.
Because it's a cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
man.
I get it.
Oh, you want to know?
I've got that. I love those movies growing up, and I still like them. And I'll defend Rob Zombie's Halloween these days.
Oh, God,
especially
dude.
after the David Gordon Green movies, bro. I was like, these aren't even as bad as it could get. Who thought Halloween could get worse? Not me.
My life hasn't been the same ever since.
Great movie. But
here's Tangy. I missed it. Busy at work today, but I named the Jedi General Neja or Neju. Glad you boys liked it.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
General Neju. Now we need a Figgy.
It's Nady and Jussie.
Yeah.
Rockabilly horror. Exactly.
And you know, Fig, I agree with you, brother. Hellbilly Deluxe is a great album. Great record. I also do have a little bit of a work in project, painting project, a repaint, folks.
Whoa.
Haven't been printing really, but I have been painting, and got my little Captain Antilles I'm working on here.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so this is kind of the work in progress I've got going so far on him. Got the base body painted, the hair painted. I'm just strictly repainting the Rebel Fleet Trooper. So like got his jacket here painted up. And then I'm just doing the arms in that color as well. So it's gonna
looks good. Good.
It's gonna be nice. He's gonna be getting choked by Vader.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been printing, but it's just like not Star Wars stuff. The possibilities are endless with 3D printing. If you just like you go down the rabbit hole of like Thingiverse or the Bamboo app, and you just see tons of stuff. Like there's things that you would just never even think of, like home improvement stuff, tools, like stuff for your car.
That's true.
So much stuff.
I 3D printed a toothbrush holder.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, right.
Oh. It's like, you know what? I was looking in the cabinet and I was like, man, I could really use something for the toothbrushes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, I'll just go look on Maker
Yep.
World.
Yeah, so I'll give you a little sneak.
Ooh. Spiral flower pot. Nice.
Yeah.
And that crispy white matte filament.
Yep, this is a request from my sister.
Nice.
So I was like, sure, I can print you a flower pot.
I could print you one.
Just pick a design, and I print. So that's what I started doing today.
Nice.
I've been doing a lot of printing, but it's just not Star Wars diorama stuff because I need to redo everything. I need to redo literally everything in my collection. because now I got the cantina set up right here above, like the tantive over here and the cantina, and then my empire. Oh my god, the empire stuff.
They're fallen. The empire is fallen.
Yeah, I just like, I needed to make room. I was like, get out of the way. I'm putting my 3D printed bar here.
You teach them.
That's. I need to just redo. Oh, the probe droid is randomly just right here. But
nice. He's with the Dune figures now.
I was rearranging stuff. All right, well, that was our recent pickups. Yep. So the only thing left to do is to talk about the Acolyte episode 4. And I'll just say it right off the bat. I stand by everything I said last week when I went on my rant. So if you're going to come in here with all of those grifting talking points, I just want to skip that shit. I would just like to talk about the episode itself this week. Let's just skip all of the fandom menace shit this week. So
I say let's increase it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Ring.
I don't know where that
11. I don't know. I just wanted to say the opposite of what you were saying, to inject a little chaos.
I don't care. I don't care about any of your socio-political talking points this week. All right? If you want to hear my thoughts about that type of stuff, go watch last week's rant. And then we're just going to talk about the episode this time. So we are going to switch over to the Acolyte talk.
Yes.
Spoilers, of course, if you care.
Indeed.
For episode 4. Let me type that in. The Acolyte episode 4. Spoiler chat. So, let's just jump into it, Nate. We are back with the main cast. And I'll be completely honest. Yeah. Phew. Like, let's just say I'm glad to be back with the main cast, because episode 3, probably the weakest. Well, definitely the weakest of the 3.
Yeah.
There was just some cringe in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm definitely back. I'm definitely glad to be back with just like the main cast and the main story. If that makes... Well, the flashbacks are part of the main story, but I'm glad to be back with the main cast, at least this time around. What did you think in general of episode 4?
I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It is a little concerning to me that we're now 4 episodes deep. We're halfway through season 1, and there's still really not like a whole lot of focus, I feel like. And I'm I'm getting that feeling of just like it's feeling a little disconnected, a little disjointed. Things are happening, but it's not like very satisfying to watch, but it's not offensively bad either. It's just kind of like this week's episode, like I watched it and I was like, oh, all right. The ending though, I did get a little annoyed at the ending. I will say that.
Yeah. I can agree with that. It's a show that I'm watching from week to week, and for 20 odd minutes, I'm like, oh, okay, sure. But it's not like House of the Dragon, where I'm like hyped to all hell. And I'm like, this is good quality, like expert craft. This is craftsmanship. Mm-hmm. It kind of sucks that Star Wars it's just Adventure of the Week. And it's Monster of the Week, Creature of the Week. That's also how I felt about Book of Boba Fett, Mando, Kenobi. It's just like Adventure of the Week. And you're either in or you're out.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, just with so few episodes, I just would assume it would be a more focused narrative.
Yeah, so as far as like specific problems I had, Well, let's talk. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. One problem I did not have that if you thought last week's episode the internet was on fire, this week everyone is flipping shit over Kiadi Mundi because of this thing right here. I learned what it is, Nate. And you're going to laugh if you don't know this already. People are using this in reference to why they're breaking canon. It is a interactive CD-ROM from, what would this be? The late 90s or early 2000s?
Was this for Phantom Menace?
It had to have been. Oh yeah, because you see the little. This is your cursor, the Naboo Starfighter.
Ah, okay.
So it's an
clever.
interactive CD-ROM.
All right.
And I'm like, you guys have got to be shitting me if you're like, they are ruining the sanctity, my sacred lore. Like, imagine being upset over like a late 90s sticker book that had Kiadi Mundi's birthday on it. Like, are you insane? So I learned what it actually is with this CD-ROM. So it's like different characters and they're like little biographies. Obviously never was canon. Obvious. Like,
I mean, to just take something like this, like as like hardcore lore that could never be disputed or broken is it's kind of like what we talked about last week, where people are just trying to latch on to stuff to like really despise about the show.
Yeah, because they don't like the show. They know they're not going to like the show, so it's like everything they do is wrong.
Right.
Because X and Y, you know. So it has the homeworld, the species, age 60. That's what everyone is hung up on. Mm-hmm. But look what else isn't on here, Nate. Look what else is part of this hardcore Lord of the Rings-esque lore that we have going on in Star Wars.
What is that I see, brother?
Weapon of choice, purple light. Really, George?
George couldn't even follow his own rules. How about in Attack of the Clones when Kiadi has a green lightsaber, then a blue lightsaber, then a green lightsaber, then a blue lightsaber, all in the Battle of Geonosis?
I just thought this was so hilarious because I said this last week in my rant, but there are Star Wars fans who think like the lore, like Star Wars has this like deep, complex lore of the likes of like Lord of the Rings, Song of Ice and Fire, Dune. Lil bro, this ain't it. Like, lil bro, Star Wars ain't it. If you're looking for that, like, deep layers upon layers of complex lore, that's not Star Wars. So it was just hilarious to see people's reaction to they're breaking my CD-ROM from 1999 canon. Give me a break.
Yeah. And you could just you can immediately detect the grift with this because it literally has age 60, but then right at the bottom, weapon of choice, purple lightsabers. So this is just more, Star Wars grifting going on here. I do like that his special power is insight into the dark side. Mm-hmm. Is he a little more villainous?
Yeah.
The villain lore has always been there for Kiadi. I honestly thought, like, when Kiadi showed up, I was like, oh, that's interesting that Kiadi is randomly here. I didn't actually
know it was him at first. I just thought it was the same species.
See, I assumed that, but I feel like Kiadi, like, just, it was so specific, like the same facial hair, the same everything. Although, I guess the Plo Koon species in the episode is not Plo Koon? ?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he's there for a brief second. You see him in the same scene. The camera just kind of pans right past him. Yeah. But people are saying it's not Plo Koon, but Kiadi is actually credited.
Yeah, that's when I saw it. I was like, oh, that was KAM. And I fully, like, my mind just was like, oh, it was Kiadi. Like, his species must just live, not everything has to be a human lifespan. There's aliens and races, and I just didn't question. I didn't know it was going to cause a shitstorm at all. That people were going to be like, my CD-ROM when I was 5. My Scholastic Book Fair. Like, this was at, like, the Scholastic Book Fair right next to the sticker books. Like,
yeah.
this is the dumbest criticism of. This is the dumbest like non-political criticism of the show.
Right.
There's a lot of stupid political opinions involved with people hating on the show, but as far as just like, oh, it's breaking canon, like this is dumber than the Anakin thing.
Right.
Like it's not making Anakin special or whatever.
Yeah. And he's an alien species who's like, you can change the age of an alien to whatever
like
you want.
Or excuse me, Dave Filoni does it all the time. Like the Kanan comic book got retconned in Bad Batch.
Yeah.
They retcon things in the Ahsoka series. Like they retcon things with the prequel trilogy existing. They were retconning things that existed in the EU, like the concept of clones, the Clone Wars, what the clones were, the character of Jango Fett. You know, there were already retconning things. George has been busting up his can. They were retconning things in the original trilogy.
100%.
Maybe not retconning, but like,
well,
they didn't have the full story thought out, and so
right.
it's like some things that retroactively mean a different thing. Like he's a
it's
pupil
like,
of mine until he betrayed and murdered your father.
What I was thinking of is how interesting it would be to read like Splinter of the Mind, that like very first like Star Wars sequel book.
Mm-hmm.
Should we get all pissed about that? Because I'm sure there's probably a bunch of horse manure in that.
Yeah. So anyway, I definitely wanted to touch on the Ki-Adi-Mundi thing because I just thought it was incredibly dumb. This is not Lord of the Rings. It's not Dune. It's not Song of Ice and Fire. Like, I'm sorry, but it's goofy ass Star Wars.
Yeah, I get
These
it.
two
But
shills are getting paid by. You're damn right.
yeah, we're getting paid the big bucks.
Let me get some of that cash money because I don't even really like this show, so I don't even know how you even are possibly interpreting it as that. Brandon,
yeah. Right?
I love Kate Jackson.
Holiday special is the only canon story. That's true.
So,
but I thought Ki-Adi was fine. It was nice to see him. I'll say it. It wasn't an egregious cameo, I feel like.
Yeah, I didn't think anything of it at all. So I do have some negative thoughts about this episode. And it's a lot of other people's criticisms as well.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, May's sudden switch is... It would have been believable if there would have been some lead up to it. Instead of just like flipping the switch and being like, I'm not going to murder this Jedi. I'm going to turn myself in. I don't have to do this. The justification of the people defending the show are saying, well, it was because she thought that they murdered Osha. And now it's revealed that Osha is alive.
Right.
But it still came as jarring to just like flip the switch, because why did you even travel to the planet because you've known Osha's alive since episode 2, so why did you even go to that planet for Kelnaka? Like, why was it like you just thought of it? So it was like a big sudden switch. I
could see that, although I didn't really have a huge problem with that, simply because I feel like, yeah, if I found out my long lost twin was alive when I thought they were dead, that would probably change something in me. But you do make a fair point, though. Like, why go all the way to the planet unless she just didn't want to reveal herself to Kymer? And also, is it just me, or is Kymer 100% the dark side force user?
That was going to be my number 2 negative.
Like, I feel like before it was a little questionable, but this episode basically to me confirms it.
Unless it's a bait and switch or something, fine. But if it actually ends up being him, which a part of me says this show is so simple that it actually will be him, that's going to be a big negative for this episode. If it actually ends up being him, because it is painfully obvious, like almost pain. Like I almost felt chest pain.
It gave me,
if it turns out to be him.
It was giving Scooby-Doo vibes to me, where it's just like conveniently the one character missing from the scene. He shows back up after the murder's been committed. Like it's gonna be like an old man Crothers moment or something. They're gonna pull his mask off at the end. Kymer.
Yeah,
and I would have killed all the Jedi too.
If it wasn't for you meddling kids. So I thought May's immediately 180 was... Someone had the perfect word for it that I just can't think of earlier. Abrupt. It felt completely abrupt, just pulling a 180 like that. Versus, like, if there would have been some signs, some, like, breadcrumbs, that would have been the ultimate, decision.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't feel so jarring. Kymir, is that his name?
Yeah, Kymir.
If he ends up being the baddie, it's going to be the most painfully obvious thing of all time. And then my third negative with the show, which you would agree with this, Nate, is I hate when the cut to black, the end of the episode.
Yep, the end of the episode got a big, long sigh from me.
Yep, because I get that it's a cliffhanger, but it always ruins the emotional impact of the moment when it's broken up into 2 episodes like that.
Yeah, it's just like so kind of just generic too, to end like, oh, right before these characters clash. It's the end of the episode. Tune in next week. It's such like a TV show.
That's what I'm getting at.
Trope that I was just like, ugh, like come on. Like personally, yes, we have gotten a couple fight scenes, but at this point, halfway through the first season, I want to see some lightsabers hitting. I want to see. I need my Star Wars banging action figures together moment, and it's just like I said, the show is like meandering. It's really slow pace for 8 episodes. We don't know if there's going to be a season 2.
Yeah, and you know what it made me think of is the moment I checked out of Walking Dead, and that is the Negan introduction death scene where they insulted the audience and they did the goo goo gaga baby shit of not showing the full moment just to rope people in to come back next season. I genuinely think, and Walking Dead defenders always defend this, and then I ask, did you read the comic? And they never did, because you will know that The Walking Dead issue 100 is the most iconic, emotional, intense issue of the Walking Dead comic book. It unceremoniously murders a fan favorite character, and the whole entire event is the issue. It's not like who's he gonna pick to die, and then you have to wait for the next issue. Everything happens and is resolved in that one issue, and it is such a gut-wrenching, emotional, just gut punch. Absolutely abysmal that the show would insult the audience's intelligence and rob them of that emotional moment. Because imagine if the whole thing happened in that one episode and then it faded to black. That's kind of, on a much smaller scale, that's how I'm feeling about the ending of this episode as well. We finally, after all this time, get the introduction of the big badass Smilo Ren. And got that from Discord.
Nice.
And I just hate the jump to black, because if some badass fight happened and it just happened in that one episode and then it faded to black, I would be like, oh, what's going to happen next? Right. But you know what I fear? Next episode is going to be the resolution. Like, it's going to be the aftermath. What if the episode opens on the aftermath? And it doesn't even show what happened in between.
I was just joking with Buck about that, about how the next episode's going to start after the fight has ended.
Yep. Because you know what they said? There was a writer who came out on Twitter and said that they didn't have the budget to shoot the fight scene with Kel Naka. It was for budgetary and story reasons. So the story reason I could get more behind, because there are some things you just can't show because it messes up the flow of the episode. But the fact that they included budget is kind of embarrassing. I'm like, this is like what, 200 mil?
I was gonna say I've heard like 180 million, something like that. Like
What?
yeah, that was that. See, that was another thing I kind of disliked about the episode. You know how I feel about off-screen deaths, and to see Kalnaka sitting there with a little slash across his chest,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's it. That's it for Kalnaka.
He's a Wookiee. Like,
a
I
Wookiee
wanna
Jedi
see.
gets a little slash and he's dead. That's kind of like crazy to me about this, like, especially with like in the terms of Disney era Star Wars, it's like people are getting mortally wounded left and right and then they're fine. But in this show, Indara gets a little tiny dagger to the heart, Kalnaka gets a little slash across his chest, and they're dead. Like,
Yeah.
I don't it that is kind of like, that disappointed me a little bit. I would have liked to see Kalnaka in action. I would have liked to see a little bit of a confrontation. I'm getting closer and closer to leaning towards the cancellation of all Acolyte figures. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'm getting close.
Yeah, and I think something about the dialogue is off. Something about the acting across the board is off.
Yeah,
I'm like struggling to think of positives from this episode.
It's
and last episode.
Yeah. I mean,
I was kind of on board for episodes 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then 3, they pretty much totally lost me. And then 4, I'm like,
Yeah, 4 is definitely
That's true. I do remember that shot in the trailer. I know there is a Kalnaka scene.
Right. But it's just like something I would have liked to see. You know, I would have just liked to see it happen.
So I only watched the episode once, but there was a moment that fell really flat for me when Osha's talking to Jackie, and she's like, the animal, or what did she say? She's like, the creature was alive, but then I disturbed it, and now it's dead. Like, I don't know. It's just like a little awkward and falling a little flat for me. I don't really know what they're trying to go for. Which is weird because Osha, the actor for Osha, I've been fine with episodes 1 and 2. Like I said, like 1 and 2, I was like kind of on board. I was like, okay, like this isn't bad.
Right.
And I think they're starting to lose me here with 3 and 4.
Yeah. It just, halfway through the first season, there's just not a whole lot going on. And I feel like there's no way like that the conclusion of this series is probably going to be super rushed. And again, who knows if we're getting a season 2? So I don't know. I feel like they're wasting precious time with a lot of like nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Now, are there any characters you are a fan of in this show?
Yeah, I like Soul. I like Yord. I like Jackie. They're fun. They're fine.
Those are my 3 too. Which I've seen people hating on Yord, which I just feel like he's a by the books archetype.
Right. Yord is like very much like the straight man played for comedic relief in this series.
Yeah, which is actually fine. Like I am totally fine with that. I think those are my 3 as well. Saul, Jackie, and Yord.
Yep. I like those 3. But it's not enough. It's not enough to
Yord.
Yeah. It's not enough to say that I'm really like genuinely enjoying the show. I just feel in the just meh. Like I'm just watching it and I'm just like,
okay,
sure.
Another criticism. And this is all Disney plus episodic things for Star Wars. I don't watch the Marvel one, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Inconsistent episode length is really starting to get under my skin, because this previous episode, it was seriously like 20 minutes of content, because they include the recap and the credits in the episode length. So
True.
in actuality, it's like 20 minutes of content.
Right.
But then one episode will be 35 minutes. The next one's 20. The next one's 40. I'm like, then I watched House of the Dragon, and I'm not talking about content of the show. I'm not talking about, it's like for adults. It's obviously a mature audience, rated R, whatever. I'm not even talking about that, but it has a consistent runtime.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, shows like Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon had a consistent runtime, and you get so much time in those shows to flesh out the characters, live in this world, build out the universe. It like gives you a moment to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
But these Disney Plus shows, again, it's the same thing with like Mando, Kenobi, Book of Boba, everything. It's like 20 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, give me more. We need more time with the characters.
100%
We need more
agree.
time building out the world.
Yeah. I think, especially when it comes to live action, it feels really jarring. Like first episode being a little bit longer, sure, it's like the season premiere, get hype, blah blah blah. That's fine. But yeah, like I just feel like it'd be much more better paced if the episodes were also a consistent length.
Yeah, and I agree, Potbellies. The show is fine. It ain't great. It ain't bad. It's just fine. That's exactly how I feel.
Yep.
But I would just wish Star Wars was more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that, like we were saying at the beginning, that's kind of all it's been, is an adventure of the week kind of TV show trope. And I don't know. I want more from Star Wars.
I agree.
More.
100% agree with you.
Now, if Darth Vader showed up and ignites his red lightsaber, that means I like it.
2 red lightsabers.
You know what's funny? All it would take is like Hayden to be in it, and then this is peak, bro. This is peak.
Sure.
Hayden is gonna use the world between worlds to time travel back to the Acolyte, and it's gonna be a big like member berry Hayden Christensen, because everyone loved that in like the Ahsoka series. Like that's all it takes.
Yeah.
It's like it has clone troopers and Hayden is peak.
Yeah, Captain Rex comes out too, and he's like, I've also figured out how to use the world between worlds.
Let's do it. They should get us in charge.
We'll get the fans back on board for sure.
Yeah, and that's a good that's a good point. That's a good point, because I did love The Last of Us. And I didn't even know it had inconsistent runtime. I think the problem is more so the time is wasted rather than the length of the episodes. It's rather plot than filler. Yeah, which I don't really think we've had filler in The Acolyte. I just think it's a very slow-moving story, and I guess the main thing is I'm failing at caring about the characters.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like what I was saying last week, is I'm feeling apathetic towards Star Wars. But that's been happening for so long, so I don't want people to think like I'm just hating on the Acolyte, the hate train. I've been hating on Mando 3, Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi. Like I think I'm just on that path with Star Wars. I'm on the apathy path. The apathy path. I've even started to sour a little bit on Ahsoka. I've been like not even wanting to rewatch it. I think
Bro's going crazy.
I've been souring a little bit on that. Yeah, it's just a little boring, and I hate saying that because that's such a it's such a normie thing to say. It's boring. Lord of the Rings, boring. Like that's such a normie thing to call something boring, because most of the time it's just like what people consider boring is the absence of action. That's like normally what people mean when they say something is boring, but honestly the show is kind of boring, and that's coming from an Andor stan, and people's main criticism of Andor is like, it's boring, there's no stormtroopers, there's no lightsabers. That's what makes Star Wars Star Wars, is lasers and stormtroopers and lightsabers. But I was enthralled with Andor from start to finish. So, I mean, You know, I
Yep.
loved Andor. Like, I absolutely loved Andor because it had rich dialogue, atmosphere, character depth. It's like everything this show is lacking. Because I get they're going for like the mystery element thing, flashback. What did the Jedi do that they're so ashamed of what they did that one went into hiding and one did the meditation and he killed himself with the poison? And I'm just sitting there like, I don't really care.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get some more answers from the remaining episodes, but it's not looking optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if we're going to potentially have another episode that's going to be the flashback, but from the Jedi perspective. So, like, we're going to have to dwell on that subject matter again, potentially. Because
Yeah.
I believe that is the scene where we see Kalnaka, what looks like Kalnaka attacking Torben.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. That shot.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty N99, Justin, what was the last Star Wars thing you watched? And it was like, that is really good. Out of interest, you probably commented this before I started glazing Andor, but I would say Andor. I would say Andor is the best Disney Star Wars that they've ever done. Better than Rogue One, better than Mando. I love Mando 1 and 2, but
Yep.
I have a lot of respect for Andor. Just it's different, and I just feel like it was one person's consistent vision. There wasn't a bunch of meddling in it. It seems like, at least. I would say Andor. I like the Bad Batch, but I haven't I haven't finished season 3
Right.
because I just know, oh, Mega gets captured by the Empire again. We gotta save her.
No.
Yeah. So, and that's fine. Like, there will come a point where I stop watching. I'm not gonna hate watch Star Wars. If it really gets to me that bad, I'm gonna stop watching because nothing will take away the OT or the PT or Clone Wars or Rebels or Andor or Mando 1 and 2 or Jedi Fallen Order. Like, you know, I'm fine. Fine with it. It's fine. I'll watch it from week to week. It's entertaining for 20 minutes, I suppose.
Yeah.
Wish it was longer. Wish it was more consistent. I wish I cared more about the characters. But I just don't. Yeah, Andor. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Sorry it didn't have stormtroopers in it, bro. Actually, it did. Like, it totally has stormtroopers in it.
No.
I just remember people were flipping shit because there was no stormtroopers in, like, the first few episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But you get your Stormies. And I get that Andor, it's a pretty popular choice, but it also has its haters because it's boring. But yeah, I genuinely think Andor is the best Disney Star Wars they've done. How about you, Nate? Like, what's your favorite, like, ever since Disney bought Star Wars?
Probably as time goes on, Mando season 1 probably
Yeah.
still peak.
Super strong. It's the spaghetti western that stands on its own with no cameos and no member berries.
Mm-hmm. It's just, I mean, Andor is a good second, but when it comes to my enjoyment of Star Wars, I do kind of like a little bit more of that action, a little bit more of, some helmeted characters.
You need your gobbledygook.
Yeah, I love Andor. It's a great series, but I think Mando season 1 still takes the cake for me because it still feels very Star Warsy.
Yeah.
Whereas Andor at times can feel a little detached from, like, the rest of everything that we've seen, which is not a bad thing. It's definitely not a bad thing to do something different. But
yeah, I know it's a highlight for you, Fig, with your boy Toro Calican.
yeah, even with Toro Calican, I still think overall season 1 of Mandalorian is probably the best packaged thing that we've got.
That is definitely the Mando season 2 as well. That's like one of the last times I felt the magic. Like Ahsoka's introduction, like that episode, the Jedi.
Yeah,
I haven't felt the magic in quite a while.
definitely. I mean, like, I straight up ugly cried at the end of Mando season 2 when Din is giving Baby Yoda over to Luke.
Yeah.
But then, of course, the emotional impact of that scene is totally negated because they're like, "We gotta bring Grogu back to with
bring him
Mando."
back in Book of Boba Fett. We got to reunite them in a different show, a Looney Tunes ass show at that. Book of Boba Fett. Don't get me started on Book of Boba Fett. Don't get me started. But yeah. Final thoughts on the Acolyte. I will say it was nice to get back to the main cast. It was better than last week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I just still haven't been grasped, if that makes sense. They haven't pulled me in. And that kind of says a lot because it's halfway over. But I am hoping that the second half of the season can give me that hook.
Yep. We need the hook. There's a little too much setup going on for an 8-episode season.
Yeah. I'm kind of sick of the 8-episode thing, too. Because that's been like every single one of those, except Andor.
I mean, yeah, I feel like we just need a little bit more time. If the story is going to be this slow paced, then I feel like we need more episodes. Because as of right now, I feel like no matter what, like I said earlier, the end of this season is going to be rushed. Like, there's no way it's not completely rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'll probably be like villain reveal and resolution with villain all within the same like 15 minutes.
I think they should pull a Game of Thrones season 8 and do it in 6.
Yes. I agree.
Resolve the entire show in 6 episodes.
Yep. Sounds like a plan to me. But you know what, Justin? That's okay, because House of the Dragon's on tonight, and that first episode was banging. The second episode is probably going to be banging too.
Should we just cancel Acolyte chat and just do House of the Dragons chat?
Let's just talk about how.
Like, I get we're a Star Wars channel, but I'm honestly down to just let's do a hot D chat.
We'll talk. We'll bait everyone in. We'll talk about Acolyte for like a minute and a half, and we'll slowly start to like just discuss Hot D instead.
Yeah. Let's see. House of the Dragon Season 2 HD wallpaper. Ooh. Which one? All right, guys. This is the Hot D show now. What should I do as the background?
Beep boop boop boop.
Ooh, dragon.
Yeah, dragon.
Blum blum blah la lum blum blah la lum blum blah la lum blum.
Get old Rhaenyra and Alicent. Battle for the throne. What team are you, Justin? Team Idiot or Team Black?
Like, who would unironically choose Team Black?
What do you mean? Whose side are you on?
Or Team Green, my bad.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a damn minute.
Wait, what?
It's like,
I see dragon, I like. Yeah.
Man, fuck Team Green. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Wilbon, come on now. Come on.
Hot D is good, brother. I get it, but Hot D is good.
I mean, I certainly understand after the shit show that was the ending of Game of Thrones.
100%.
Like, I certainly understand the apprehension or like the hesitancy, but it's damn good.
Yeah.
It's damn good.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll go last like 10, 15 minutes.
All right. I'm done. You convinced me.
I mean, let's get that Acolyte shit out of here. Let's talk about House of the Dragons.
Dude. House of the Dragon completely delivered. what a compelling 60 minutes of television. I really like that it picked up right where it left off, like immediately where season 1 leaves off. I enjoyed that immensely.
Yeah, the episode opens and you get the classic like I was like the Winterfell theme.
Dude. Yeah, we get to see Craig and Stark with ice. Ice is back.
We got to see ice again. I like the passage of time. Jace's hair is grown out. I'm like, oh, they're establishing passage of time. Something that the last few seasons of Game of Thrones absolutely sucked at. And everything was just like fast travel, instant, a resolution to every issue. So I loved that. A down payment on a House of the Dragon review stream.
Hey,
I'm down.
We'll take it.
I'm genuinely down. I feel like there's a lot of crossover between Star Wars fans who also like A Song of Ice and Fire. Will Bond says he'll talk about the books all day. I've been reading the books. I'm currently on A Feast for Crows.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm currently on that. But yeah, thank you, Chris, for the $10 super chat.
I'll hold up Jamie so everyone know. I got to block some Star Wars stuff in the background. See? It's Game of Thrones now.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones figgies.
Yeah, it's like the one thing I don't have. I have Dune. I got Minecraft. I got Halo.
Well,
There was never good.
Hey, there's going to be Diamond Select Hot D toys that look terrible.
Yeah, but I like the show. It's such long episodes, and I know people are like, well, Star Wars is for kids. Screw that. Give kids more credit. They have the attention span. I also grew up with video games. I know everyone likes to say that their attention spans are rotted. We had video games growing up. We're just fine. Give the kids some credit. All right, they can watch a freaking 40 to hour long episode of television. There's no reason Star Wars has to be so short.
100%. I think Star Wars could easily be just as engaging as House of the Dragon, but they just, I don't know. There's a disconnect there, but yeah, this was a great episode to see everyone back. Rhaenyra grieving over her son, which what a insane moment in the last season.
Yeah, and it's very true. Yeah, Lucerys's death and the dragon. My lore is a little rusty, but I know Rhaenyra's dragon was also the mother of Lucerys's dragon, so it was like they were both mourning in that moment when she goes to Storm's End to try to find evidence of Lucerys's death, which I get because it's like in that world, you don't have. It's not like the internet or instant access. So some raven came with a little chicken scratch on it. Like I totally understand the need to see it for yourself.
You think there's like junk mail equivalent in Game of Thrones where it's like just a crow comes by and has like some horse insurance information.
Yeah.
Like, you want to insure your horse? I don't need this. Get out of here.
Daemon thinking that he can boss people around, and they're like, you're not the king.
Yeah.
I like that moment.
Which, I mean, I get it. You know, he's a little hot in that moment. Just wanted to go like, you know.
He's a little hot?
Well, of course he's a little hot.
Yeah. I like that he just wants to go. He wants to kill Vhagar, Aemon's dragon, but even he can recognize, like, yeah, I don't stand a chance, but on my own.
Right.
Like we need to team up again. Like, Vhagar is so huge, and they capture his size so well. Like the scene in King's Landing, which I always love these little moments that show like a soldier's perspective or like a non-main character's perspective when they all start freaking out because they sight a dragon. And
Right.
then like the captain or the officer or whoever calls them off, and they're like, it's just Vagar. Like I love, it's just like the boots on the ground perspective.
Oh yeah.
I love when
E-
they do that.
even like the fishermen when Rhaenyra lands on Storm's End and they're like, "Ah, it's a dragon!"
Yeah.
Like they just, I love that they're just like showing the fear of just how normal people would react if you saw a dragon flying up to you. Because I know if I was in
Mm-hmm.
their shoes, I'd be like, "Bro, we're cooked."
Mm-hmm.
Morbius is Morbius kind of hot. Maybe.
Well, he's not Morbius in that movie. He's like
No. Oh,
villain man.
Matt Smith is in Morbius.
Yeah, he's the villain.
Oh, I didn't see
He's
Morbius. I couldn't do it. Venom 2 broke me. I couldn't do it.
I did it for the memes. I did it just for the memes, just to, you know,
I mean, I get it.
ironically watch something. But yeah, and then we get to see how. Gosh, it's hard to remember everyone's name. There's so many characters and so much. Aegon.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see how he acts as king, and he's like sort of embracing it, but like he just doesn't understand it.
Right.
He doesn't understand fully.
Well, he also was just like, like, oh, let's go fuck some shit up. And then they're like, no, we can't do that. But yeah, you can kind of see that struggle with him. Like, he's trying to be friendly to the people too. Like when he's like trying to give the guy his sheep back or goats or something.
Yeah, because it's like they're taxing them for dragon feed because the dragons are more active, so they need to eat more. World building. What the like? What in the hell? World building. Like, that I like that moment, and every time the Hand of the King had to step in and be like, all right, we can't do that because this and that and this and that. We got to see what am I thinking of? Oh, of course, Blood and Cheese.
Right.
Which it is quite different from the books. In the books, in the books she has 3 children, and they're all awake and aware, and they're like holding them up to the queen and forcing her to pick one. And whatever one that she picks, they kill the opposite. So then that kid has to live with, your mom chose you to die, and then they ended up killing the eldest. So it was more gruesome and a bit more messed up. Still pretty gut-wrenching in the show. But they did sort of change it and made it just a little watered down for the show, which I was a little surprised that they just didn't go for it.
Right. Especially like the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones are so brutal. Like seasons.
There's like baby infant murder.
Yeah.
In that first season.
Once I heard about the book versus show difference, I was like, I wonder why they kind of like.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as brutal when Game of Thrones is known for being like, insanely gruesome.
Because they still make her pick.
Right.
But then they just go with the one that she picks.
Right.
Because in the books, it's like she intentionally picks the younger one because she's trying to protect the heir. Like the eldest who would inherit the crown. So it is a little more gruesome and a little more involved in the books. But I love seeing on screen the exploration of Maegor's tunnels, because that is very, very frequently referenced as I'm reading the books, and that's just the Game of Thrones books. I've read a Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings, and A Storm of Swords, currently on Feast for Crows, and they're constantly referencing these secret passageways and hidden tunnels that I don't think they really hit on in the show Game of Thrones.
Right.
So it was nice to see that physically in House of the Dragon, because that's how Tyrion, in the books, that's how Tyrion gets to Tywin, and it's also how Varys he has his little birds. It's because they know, like, he himself and then his little birds know these like passageways, and that's how he like knows everything. Is because he knows like all of these secret tunnels and passageways and in the walls and everything. But I liked the episode as well. The ending of the episode, big downer, and
It's like child murder in the first episode. Let's go, baby. We're starting strong here.
Yeah, and the captions: flesh tearing, bones breaking. Oh no.
Yeah, there's some brutal sound effects.
Yeah.
To listen to. But
and it's just like so unapologetic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just in that world, it's so easy to just get killed
right.
by some random, like, what is he, a rat catcher? So like he knows his way around the Red Keep.
Mm-hmm.
And then Damon still having connections with the City Watch, kind of a callback to like season 1, episode 1, when he was the Lord Commander.
Did you kind of think it was odd at all how like empty their chambers were? Like no guards, no like maids walking around doing something. I don't know. I felt like if I was gonna say like one thing, I was kind of like because it was just like it seemed very easy for Blood and Cheese to just mosey about.
So someone can correct me if I'm wrong, because I have not read Fire and Blood, the novel that this whole show is based off of, which is like the history of the Targaryens. But I think the royal living quarters is in what they call, what is it? It's something holdfast. Is it Maegor's Holdfast? Hang on.
I don't know.
Yes, Maegor's Holdfast. So it's like where they were in Game of Thrones. That's where they all hid during the Battle of Blackwater Bay. That's where all the women were, because it's like a castle within the castle. It's called Maegor's Holdfast. So I think the assumption is that it's impenetrable because it's inside the Red Keep.
Okay.
So there just wouldn't be a need to post guards that close to everyone. But I also agree. I was like, this does seem empty for like a royal family. I feel like there should have been some guards. Yeah. And in the books, they do strangle like a handmaiden.
Oh, okay.
And in the show, they let her go.
Oh,
so that's another thing where they kind of watered it down a bit.
Yeah. What do you think Rhaenyra's reaction is going to be to finding out that they murdered? Was that Jaehaerys? Was the baby?
Yeah, because it was the one that was at the small council meeting earlier in the episode. Because Aegon is like, well, he needs to learn. And he's just like playing around.
Because obviously she called for, Aemon's death. Basically, an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see like what her reaction is going to be when they're like, oh yeah, we actually just killed the baby. And like, did Daemon tell them to do that?
I think that's the implication, because they ask, what do we do if we can't find him? And then I think it jumps to the next scene. So I think it's implied that he said, like, if you can't find him, like, just a son for a son, basically. Just kill one of their sons. Yeah, Kristen Cole sent them all away for playtime.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like,
Kristen Cole, he's getting it in.
He's just everyone. All the royals between these 2 seasons.
Everyone in sight. Bro's got W Riz.
Which, I mean, I can't necessarily blame the bro Kristen. But yeah, that's also a good point. Cole got that dog in him.
He got that dog in him.
So yeah, I think it'll be a negative reaction, because that's a pretty drastic, like, it's not exactly what she said. And I feel like if she really is the queen and they need to recognize her authority, it needs to be exactly as she says it, not like a different version of her orders. And she specifically said, I want Aemond Targaryen. So I feel like it's pretty extreme, killing a child. So I think her reaction would be pretty negative.
Yeah. I'm thinking so too.
But maybe they play it off like it was just a random murder in King's Landing.
Right.
Like,
I don't know.
yeah, play dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. It wasn't me.
Sends a raven back to King's Landing. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So I'm super excited to see tonight's episode, and that is what Star Wars is also lacking. It's starting to feel like a chore.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to constantly go back and dog on Star Wars, but I think that's why I stopped watching Bad Batch, is because I just stopped getting excited for it. Apathy.
It does. It feels like just the feelings I've had watching Acolyte, and then the feeling I had last week watching House of Dragons. I was like, oh yeah, this is what it's like to watch exciting television.
Yeah.
Like to be genuinely engaged for the entire, like eyes glued to the screen, locked in for 60 minutes straight. Not picking up my phone, not looking at what time it is, like just genuinely locked in, and then excited to see more, and not like upset or not that I was upset with this week's episode of Acolyte, but I was bummed out when, you're about to see a fight scene and they're like, just kidding, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
It's like
cut to black.
Yeah, it's like, they had the stove on, they had the pot of water on, it almost got to boiling, and then they turned the stove off.
Especially for a character introduction. And we want to be afraid of this character, we want to see how badass they are, and we want to see them mess some shit up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that with a jump cut to black. Just show us the whole thing.
Show us.
And then cut to black, and we'll be sitting there like,
yeah, show us
like a much more of an emotional moment.
Yeah, show us why we need to be afraid of this dark side force user. Because right now, he's just some dick with a lightsaber.
He looks like discount Kylo Ren, bro. He looks like a Knight of Ren. What if it is Ren?
It could be a Ren.
Yeah.
But
Ren.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not really feeling the Acolyte, but I am feeling House of Dragons, brother.
Yeah, House of the Dragon, definitely recommend. Go watch season 1 if you haven't. And then watch season 2, like we are going to tonight.
Yep. It's going to be a good time.
Love it. Consistent tone. Good episode length. World building. Love the universe. Characters have depth. Not everything is black and white. There's some gray areas. Love the story. I love it. I love House of the Dragon, especially as a person who was gutted by the last few seasons of Game of Thrones, especially 6, 7, 8. Mm-hmm. Especially 8. 8 was dog shit, and I'm glad that Game of Thrones is back with House of the Dragon.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah.
Feels
any
good.
Final thoughts, Nate?
No, I think you pretty much hit them all. I'm just as excited as you are.
Shut your mouth, Wilbon. Stop. Yeah. They need dick and cock and ball jokes like season 8, and then they need fart jokes too.
Yeah, we need the fart jokes.
We need a dragon to shit, and then a character is gonna step in it, like Jar Jar.
Right.
That's what we need.
I'm down. Bring it on. But no, I'm just excited that Game of Thrones is back, motherfuckers, and it is just exciting to see. It's exciting that the quality is back on, especially after the last pretty much season 6 onward of Game of Thrones is Garbo. So feels good. Feels good, man.
Totally agree, Tangy. And that's the difference between moments of levity and comedic relief.
Right.
That is done in the same tone as the universe that we're watching, which is where Marvel struggles and Star Wars struggles. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Star Wars needs no comedy, no moments of levity. Everything needs to be serious. But even a movie like The Batman has jokes in it that work because it's like in that same tone. It
Right.
works in the universe. It's not like jarring and out of place like Star Wars commonly is, and especially like the Marvel Cinematic Universe commonly is.
Mm-hmm.
When it's moments of levity and comedic relief that is still maintaining the same tone, it's more than okay, and it works, and it adds to it.
100%.
Yeah, I need more Starbucks for sure.
Yeah, bring it on.
And yeah, thumb drive. Great moment in the Batman. So you think I hate comedy and jokes? Wilbon and Zach, Black Series Cantina, thumb drive, love it.
I mean, and pretty much everything Penguin says in the movie.
Yeah.
Pretty
Come
hilarious.
on, what are you showing me?
Oh, come on! Exactly. But yeah, so Game of Thrones good, Acolyte mid.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
where I'm at.
Thanks for watching the stream.
Yep.
We are gonna have a banger this week.
Ooh.
We are gonna have a banger video.
Is there a
go up
hint, Nate?
I can't give a hint. I feel there's no except. Well, there's your hint.
Oh no!
I almost said it, but yeah, we'll have a banger this week. I was shooting some of the B-roll this morning.
Oh, cool.
And,
yeah, the last video I had go up that was outside of Figure It Out was the pros and cons of Big Bad Toy Store, and that video is doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
We were a little not worried, but we were very interested to see how a video like that would do, because it doesn't have Black Series or Star Wars in the title, and with the YouTube algorithm that can just be weird because like all of our videos have Star Wars Black Series in the title.
Right.
But that video, I mean, it's coming up on like 9,000 views, which is really good for a channel as small as ours. The last like couple episodes of Figure It Out have been, with our standards, blowing up.
Yeah.
With our standards on that.
Right. It's important.
So there's been a lot of great support lately.
Yeah.
The stream with Boss Bounty did really well. Like, you guys,
despite it being demonetized. Too.
True. Yeah. Hit over 5,000 views, which for a live stream, absolutely acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to thank everyone for all the support on our videos and our streams.
Thank you.
It's been crazy. Since I've been on vacation, I haven't really looked. And then there was like one moment in the Airbnb where I opened up my phone. I was like, huh.
Got some bigger numbers than we're used to recently.
Yeah. Last week's episode of Figured Out was our HasLab. It's our official Black Series HasLab video.
Yeah.
Which was fun. We had like 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 different ideas. So check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Check out the Big Bad Toy Store video. I know Lukeness just did his, and I absolutely don't mean to copy, but we do it every year as well. Around halfway throughout the year, do a best Black Series of 2024 so far.
Right.
We might do that since we're approaching July 1st, which would be half of the year is over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think it's safe to say that'll probably be the episode of Figured Out for this Friday.
Ooh, that'll be a heater.
Yeah, Wizzy. It was because we watched the cantina scene and Fox claimed our video. So for like 10 seconds of footage, they get to have the revenue of the entire stream, minus super chats, of course. But the ad revenue all goes to Fox because they need it.
They do. They're hurting.
Mm-hmm. They're hurting for the $10 of ad revenue we probably made off of that video.
They're going to get that check and they're like, whew, we were going to go bankrupt if we didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God those two played 10 secons of uninterrupted footage with commentary over it.
Yeah.
No audio.
Yeah, no audio. So yeah. So we're also approaching 18,500 subs, which we're definitely going to hit 20,000 this year, which we're super excited about. We have plenty of plans for 20,000 subscriber upgrades and fun little things to do. You know, We got stuff. We got
things.
stuff in the pipe. But yes,
Stuff
new
and
banger,
things.
which you said that'll go up this week.
Yep, that's going up this week. Probably
Nice.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Nice.
Just it depends on the work schedule, but we'll definitely have that out this week for everyone to enjoy. It's a great episode. Yep.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Not to toot our own horns, but it's a good
Well,
episode.
I meant it's a good figure, but sure.
Okay.
I just know it'll be a good video too.
Yeah, of course.
It'll be a good video too.
Yep. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, like Justin said, figure it out as always.
Yep.
As always. I just found a random alt hand. Anyways.
A random alt hand?
Yeah, random alt hand. But thank you so much for joining us this week. We appreciate each and every one of you hanging out with us for this almost 3-hour live stream.
Oh, yeah.
Now
we
it's
had to get
time.
that bonus House of the Dragon segment in there.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you before, but then I was like, you know what? He's probably down. He's probably down.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll talk about it every week. Probably will just depend on the conversation that we're having in general, or if we have a guest on, stuff like that. But otherwise, though, just be on the lookout for all of our other content. Watch it all. Drop a comment for us. Keep us in that sweet, sweet algorithm. But until those next videos, of course, I'm Nate. I've been joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time, same place, right here on Out of the Basement.